Welcome to Exhausted Sparrows Unite. I'm Krista Jones, and as parents and teachers and caregivers, we all want what is best for our kids. But in today's world, we are dealing with this crazy challenge of social media. And I am just completely overwhelmed to know that our teens and our preteens, just by spending 3 hours a day on social media, are twice as likely to face depression in their lifetime. I'm joined today by a truly inspiring teacher. His name is Jonathan Shanks from Todd Middle School in the Spack & Kill School District. He's an English language arts teacher. He was the drama club director for 9 years, coaching plenty of sports and so much more. He's gained well-deserved recognition in recent years for his Be Kind initiative. It's a movement that even ABC did a video on. He launched it during the podcast, during the pandemic, and he encouraged empathy and kindness and authenticity. And I was like, this is my kind of guy. So today, we're lucky enough that he's brought his 7th graders with him. And these ladies are ready to get raw and real. They're going to share their experiences, their struggles, their insight, and more on navigating social media. Jonathan Shanks, hello.
Oh my goodness, I should wake up to Krista just announcing me. That would be awesome. I just lay
Every
in bed
morning.
and, oh my gosh.
Jonathan,
Shanks!
welcome.
Right? How great would that be?
You are one of my favorite all-time beings because years ago, you reached out. I have a charity here in the Hudson Valley for those of you in Argentina listening.
Which is pretty interesting that we're doing in social media. Do you remember how we met? Social media.
We met on social media.
So there are positives to social media, or I wouldn't be here doing the 90s song I just did about Krista announcing me waking up.
Right.
Right?
Which is dating you and I, because you and I did not grow up with social media.
We did not.
Like these kids did. But you
Correct.
asked me to help you.
Thank
you. You
you.
were doing things during the pandemic.
Thank you.
No, honestly, you're like, I just have this group and they're spreading kindness. And I was like, tell me more, not only about these students, but tell me more about this teacher. Because that's what we need in this life, right? Because in some cases, all students have for positive influence is a teacher. And man, Jonathan, you're such a good one.
Well, I appreciate it. We do something at school. It's called the Positivity Project. And the kids are like, did you know you wanted to be a teacher when you were younger? And I said, I hated teachers. So no.
No, not at all.
Absolutely not. If you told my middle school self, I would be standing here with 7th graders talking about social media, I would have laughed in your face.
What did you want to do?
Want to be a sports writer, maybe
Okay.
even sportscaster.
Okay.
And then I realized I didn't want to be somebody that talked negatively about someone, because I love sports, which is interesting because we're here.
We're here.
So often social media, they're talking negatively about an athlete. An athlete
Absolutely.
can go, 9 for 10 hitting at the plate, and they're like, that one at bat was terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, did you hear
You
that?
could have a voice in radio.
Well, I don't know. I just went to like 1926 right
you
there.
did, but that was good. That was good.
Okay.
And so you are helping these students really find themselves. I mean, the ladies that we have in the room today, I think they would all attest. Ladies, would you attest that Mr. Shanks is making a huge difference in your lives? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yes? We have got so many ladies here, and they have a lot to say. And, I think that there's the good, the bad, and the ugly of social media.
I agree.
We've talked on the podcast with a clinical executive. Jennifer Green is amazing, and she's kind of gone into all of these positive and negatives of social media. And then I'm like, wait, we really need to hear from our young, generation, because they're the ones that are experiencing it. And there's definitely some great things.
Oh, definitely.
And
That's how we
there's-
met.
Right.
And then there's the negative.
Definitely some not great things, but I've got a lot of ladies in the room. I mean, ladies, come on over to microphones. And
Yep. Take
let's
over,
talk-
ladies. They
let's-
want to listen to you, not me. Here we go.
We're going to talk about some great things, but before the ladies start talking about that, I want to be transparent here. We actually recorded them a few minutes ago, and on this podcast, we said we're never editing, and they walked in the room this morning and they were so bubbly and they were ready to go, and they get on the podcast and they all just clammed up. And halfway through it, I was like, nope, we're not doing this. We are stopping and we are restarting. What is going on? And through all of this, the theme was, I'm afraid of how I'm going to sound and what someone from my school is going to hear. And I'm afraid. And I'm like, the struggle is so real. So we are re-recording. This is take 2, which we never do here, but we're doing it because, as you guys are listening to this podcast, I want you to think about how you felt when you were in 7th grade and your body is changing, your likes are changing, your friendships are changing, your hormones are crazy, your hair is not on point no matter what you do. I mean, ladies, you all look good today. They all just gave me the dirtiest of looks. You know what I mean? So they have so much going on. I want you guys to remember that when they are talking authentically, because it is hard as an adult to be vulnerable. These students are coming out today to be vulnerable. But, there's a lot of challenges to social media, but we have to start on some of the great things about social media. Ladies, do like any of you say, there is something on social media that I love. Like, what do you love?
I love the opportunities that social media can provide for people. And
Meaning what?
I know a lot of sports, having a sports account can help recruiters decide who they want for their college teams, and it could just help provide a lot of resources for the kids when they're older.
Sure, that's good. What else?
Really the ways you could connect with people, because you can find new people to talk to, and you can even find your closest friend.
You can also find some crazy people out there, girl. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So you can find people to talk to. You get a lot of information. You are out there for colleges and stuff because they're all doing it. What else? There's got to be more ways than 2, more things than 2.
I like how you can find a lot of life hacks on there that could really help you. I know it sounds corny.
That is so true.
I know it sounds corny, but they really help me with a bunch of stuff.
All right, so hold on.
Okay.
Can you think of a life hack right now? Can anybody think of a life hack that they saw and they were this many days old and they figured, okay, go ahead.
So I found one. It was how to make your shirt fit you better.
Oh,
I gave that to you.
No. I saw a video.
She's lying. I gave that to her.
I saw a video. Stop lying. It's
lie. There's some lying going on, but that's okay. It's not really lying. It's fibbing.
Liar.
We're fibbing. And so, how do you make the shirt look better on you? Tell me.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah,
okay.
you're good.
So you get a hair tie. And
Yeah.
You basically tie your shirt in a ponytail and then you flip it up. It looks weird on some people. It looks good on some people. I think it looks pretty good on
Ladies,
me.
I feel I was doing this when I was 6. I feel I already had this.
She's
No?
not talking about the hack.
Okay.
So that's a different one. She
Okay.
told me last year.
Yes.
But I found a video.
Okay. And what
That's
hack
not
are
what
you
I'm
talking about?
So I was talking about you take a round bracelet,
Okay.
a metal one, and then you stick it in your shirt, and then
Okay.
you tie it there so that it makes your shirt more tight and fitted, yet in the back it doesn't look stupid. It looks like it's a part of the design.
I gotcha. So it's like a little tail on the back of your shirt. It's a cute thing. It's a popular thing.
It's not a tail.
Right.
Like,
It's
you
just like a
can't see
little.
it.
It looks good. Trust
okay.
me.
When we're done today, can you guys text me the
Yes.
life hack so
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
What else is a positive thing for social media?
For me, I love fashion. I love modeling. I love all of that. So I get a lot of outfit inspiration from there.
Yes. All right. And in a little bit, I want to talk about what the negative can be from this fashion stuff, right? But you can even on a if you don't have a great budget. Right. So if you don't have a good budget, people will say, oh, I got this at Walmart. And you're like, that's really cute. You also can find, styles for cheap, and you can find all this great stuff. What else?
Maybe meeting new people on social media that
Yes.
you really connect with and that you can talk to, maybe people that aren't in your real life world, but people that you don't know in person, but you can talk to them online and that they'll just listen.
So sometimes it's great to get to know somebody before you meet somebody, right? You
Yeah.
can get to know somebody before you meet face to face. You can know a lot about them. What else?
Yeah.
What do we got? There's got to be a few more positives before we start getting into your struggles, girls. Go ahead. Take a microphone.
Take one.
Just say move. What do we got?
I think there's some positives on how you can find different recipes for things like baking, cooking.
Oh my gosh, I do that all the time.
So yeah,
Do you have any good recipes? Because you and I need to talk about that after too.
I have like a good brownie recipe.
Okay. And can I tell you, ladies, I don't know if it's on your feed, but it will be now because I'm going to say the word sourdough bread. I am making my own sourdough bread and my own sourdough cinnamon buns, and my feed is covered with it, which also means, right? If you are looking at things, this algorithm normally gives you what you're spending a lot of time on. So if we're in a funk and we're spending our time on some not so positive things, we might be seeing a lot of that. So then I try to change it and I'll be like, puppies and rainbows and doggies. And then like, I'll see that and I'm like, this is fantastic. Positive. Any other positive things that we can talk about?
Well, this one might just be for me, but like
That's okay.
talking to people through a screen. Like I'm not talking about like in like direct messages. It could just be like normal messages.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just texting somebody, I feel more comfortable texting somebody more than talking to them in person, if that makes more sense.
That can be a great thing. And that also can be a tough thing when you don't have the social skills. Then when you're in real life, you're like, doot, doot, doot. My daughter, like dated a boy. I don't even know how this is possible. You guys have to tell me. Like dated a boy that she hadn't like, seen face to face for like 3 weeks or something. Like, right? Like, and then they were face to face and then they talked great on text messaging and had nothing to say when they were in my house. I was like, what in the world is happening? So is it sometimes awkward to talk Yeah. You ladies are saying yes. But all right, we're going to get into all that too. These are all things you got to think about when we get to what are the challenges. Positive, do we have any more positive? Go ahead.
It also helps like I know younger age kids shouldn't really be on social media, but when they are, they have like a soft spot for younger kids, and I'll be scrolling and I'll see like a kid asking for help and all the comments are like trying to help them. Well, it honestly depends what they post because sometimes they're just like getting
Right.
but it's so bad, but sometimes they actually get the help that they need and they get like a lot of comments.
So sometimes when people need help, it's a great way to reach out because there's a lot of compassionate people around. All right. This is what I'm going to ask you guys. What do you think is a healthy amount of time to be on social media a day? Just give me some answers, yeah?
I feel like 1 to 2 hours is
And
probably...
do you do that?
No.
Not at all. Move on. Next, somebody else get over to the microphone. How many hours do you think would be healthy?
I think maybe like 1 hour or like 45 minutes.
And how many hours are you on?
Maybe 7.
Yep. Okay. Eva, what do you got?
I think a healthy amount of time is like 1 to 2 hours.
1 to 2 hours healthy. Healthy? Are we all in agreement there?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask you this. Go ahead. No,
I
finish.
spend I spend like an hour to 30 minutes, but like my sister, she spends like 5 hours.
And I bet there's like, are you around the family more? Are you doing things more? See, like you have freed yourself up and have more time. And you, Sophia, are not in the norm, which is okay because we like people to live their own authentic, unique life. All right, here's the question. I need you to be honest. Because all of you begged for a phone, and most of you probably got the phone for middle school. That's what I'm guessing. Do you feel, though, that you were mature enough to handle it?
I think so, yeah.
Sophia thinks so because she really is only on for 30 minutes a day.
I think so because
All right.
like you can like contact your parents. Like if you need help, like you could just contact them as soon as you can.
Okay, I'll take a few more comments on that. Go ahead. Come on over to the microphones.
Wait, what was the question?
She has Krista ADD. How old do you think that getting a phone in middle school? Do you think you were ready for that?
I think so, but I also feel like there's a lot of people around us who weren't, and there could be like smart ways to use your phone that could be for the better. Like if there's an emergency at school, like Sophia said, I think it was her, you could contact your parents. But there's some people who use it just to like embarrass other people.
Sure. So they're not mature enough yet, right?
No.
I'll take one more answer on that. What do you think?
I feel like that like I got a phone when I was like really little, when I was like around like 4, to like contact my parents like if there's in case like ever emergency. But I feel like I know why parents usually like wait to give them a phone to make sure like they don't like ever feel like self-conscious about themselves like from the internet or like social media and stuff,
Yeah.
to like keep them away from that until like they're a little more mature and older for it. But I think it's good that you get a phone like that can't have social media on it, that can just like have contacts and stuff on it, so then you can like contact your parents and stuff. But like social media at a young age isn't like so good.
It really is.
I don't-
And you know what? I think I'm going to have you guys back in your high school years again because I want to re-ask this question. You guys being in middle school, you're all like, yeah, this is smart. I can handle this. But you may, in 4 years, feel differently. You may say, gosh, I really wish I didn't have that. You know, I mean, as much as if you guys don't have a phone, you're kind of left out now. One more on that topic. Yes.
I wanted to agree with what Julia said because I had gotten a phone when I was really young because I would always like get hand-me-down phones, so I always had one. But I do agree with what she said because I do feel like I became self-conscious of myself at a really young age when I shouldn't have been. Like I should have just been enjoying my childhood. But I feel like that also caused like me to be as mature as I am like today and how I act.
Okay, so for us as parents, it's important that like we're really thinking this through and monitoring this and then, right, giving you guys healthy ways to use the phone, right? Like that's important. Which, you know, I really didn't do because, right, the whole phone thing came about as my children, you know, were growing up. And so I definitely as a parent did not navigate that well. And, you know, I know that you ladies are chomping at the bits to talk about the challenges of social media in the phone. So I want to go through a few topics because I wrote some things down that I was assuming you guys would want to talk about. And then when we were chatting about this off mic, you were really passionate about so many of these things. So we have a lot of positive, and it's important that we say that because if you use the phone in the right way, it can do a lot of great things. It can be a great communication piece, but it can also be negative. So my question to you ladies is, I haven't even asked the question yet. And they're raising their hands. They're like, it is go time, Mrs. Jones. Have you ever seen something on social media that makes you feel bad about yourself? And what is that? And we're going to start with who has not gone, really? Who has not gone? You guys have kind of all gone. All right, we're going to go with Eva. You come over here too. Get over there. And we're going to you guys, the two of you, whoever wants to go first, go. What is something on social media, ladies, that has made you feel bad about yourself?
Like if someone posted a picture of like how their hair is, or like during the summertime, how girls post like their tans and everything like that, and like
So their pictures and in their bathing suits and their tans by the beach, by the pool, their bodies, their physical appearance. Who here wants to add to that? Because I'm telling you right now, ding, 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 if we were on Family Feud, that would have had the most answers. Coming up to the microphone. Come on up. Just start coming up. You guys talk amongst yourself and talk to me about that. Talk to me about your physical appearance and what happens when you see pictures on social media of other women, other students, other friends your age.
I think like since like I have curly hair, like if I see other people with like different hair types, I'll always be like, oh, I wish I had like hair like them, and like try to do like their hairstyles that they're doing. But I can't because I have a different hair type, and it sometimes like makes me still feel self-conscious sometimes because like I'm not like everybody else. Like nobody has like the same looks or personality or anything.
So you are feeling you are left out because you don't have hair like some of these people do that you think look so beautiful.
Yeah.
You're struggling and you're having a hard time embracing yourself for how beautiful. And let me tell you, for all of you listening, she's beautiful. How beautiful you really are. What else? These pictures. Talk to me about that.
It's really sad to say, but like when I see other girls in outfits that I think look really good or really good on like them, I think to myself like I couldn't
look like that, because the way I am, like the way I look, I feel like sometimes it could be hard to see myself as like pretty.
Well, but that's what you guys all struggle with. And you know what's so interesting? These girls that are on social media, I'm treating you guys right now like you're my own kids, like I'm about to cry. But these girls that are on social media, they do struggle with that. You don't see that, but they do struggle with that. And listen, you guys have to face these some of these pictures in these outfits that are really showing so much. Like, all of that is you shouldn't even try to compete with that. You shouldn't even need to compete with that. You're your own unique person with your own unique style. Go ahead.
I feel like seeing like all these girls posting videos of themselves like on TikTok and stuff. And then I know a lot of us like post ourselves. We try to do that, and then like the comments, the comments are always nice. Like, they're bound to be fake on the internet because they're scared of the screen between them. But when we like get face to face, they're like talking about us to our friends. And I mean, like, I don't think any of us care if it's a guy. Like, they're bound to be annoying. I don't care. But it hurts more when like it's a girl doing it, because just knowing like it's a girl to girl, like, we're supposed to have each other's back, and knowing that they're gonna talk about someone for them just trying to be themselves and have fun, like, that can really it hurts.
Absolutely, because we are females. We face so many challenges. We all know because we all face them. So why in the world aren't we building each other up? Why are we knocking each other down?
For me, I feel like it might be like jealousy. Like, I feel like everybody has some sort of jealousy towards somebody.
How often do you guys see filtered pictures? Would you say that
All the
most
time.
pictures are filtered?
All the time.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about helping me start this trend where we do a lot less filtering?
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Do you feel if you did that would catch on? Do you feel that you really can't do that because, you would do it or you wouldn't do it?
I would do it, but I feel like with the people we're surrounded by, like, just in like the 845 in general, like, it's just the girls, like, they're bound to just like, they want validation from people around them, and that means like they're filters and being who they're not.
Sure. And it's not just here. I mean, this is a worldwide problem. We're here in the Hudson Valley. For those of you that are listening, not to make the ladies in the room nervous, but people download this podcast in Australia, in Argentina. Yeah, it's really cool. So people are going to hear you from other countries and say, girls, we are facing that here too. This podcast is kind of an extension of the charity that I have, which is called Sparrow's Nest. And because I have this charity and I'm exhausted and like I shower every 3 days sometimes because I'm so tired as a mom, I said, I got to do a podcast because we need to live our most unfiltered life. And that is why we're here today. And we're talking to these amazing women that come from Todd Middle School here in the Spack and Kill School District. And right now we're dealing with appearance and how you ladies know, right, that comparison is the stealer of joy. Like, do you know what that means? Comparing yourself to others, it steals your joy because you're also comparing yourself to something that's fake.
Yeah.
In most cases. So how do these images on social media, would you guys say it mostly is a physical thing for you that breaks your self-esteem? Yeah, come on up. I want to hear from all of you. I do. I want everybody's opinion on this because you may have different opinions and that's really okay too.
I think sometimes it's like if someone posts like a video of them like doing like a mental health day, I'll think, oh, I wish I could do that, but like there's always like someone or something that's like holding me back from doing it, and they'll think, oh, you're so weird for trying to like take care of yourself, but they won't say it in like that way, but they'll like mean it like that, and it's like kind of hard to like, because then I don't want people to think that I'm weird for like taking care of myself, but then like it's like
But I feel like the best thing you can do, how old are you?
13.
The fact that you're 13 years old and you know that you need to take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else is like, I think I learned that like 2 years ago. So like that is an amazing that's an amazing statement. And that is true. You guys have to take care of your own mental health. And, you know, one of you had said, you know, well, it's really hard for us to do unfiltered post and like to tell our truth online because everybody has it all together. And I think that if you guys really think about that, you have stories in your own school of mental health issues with friends of yours that you've even said, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. They look like they have it all together. How exhausting is it for you to pretend like everything is fine? Is that what you guys do most of the time? Talk. Let me hear.
So for me, like this was like last year this time. Like that was like one of the hardest like years, like months, moments of my life. Like for me, I was like struggling. Like I can't even begin to explain. Like everything was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then like now I'm doing so much better than I was. And it feels so good to like make progress and be proud of myself.
But it's so lonely when you have to fake that you're okay.
And that whole time I was faking like I was okay. Like I was laughing at school and nothing was fine. It really wasn't.
It wasn't. And I think sometimes too, when you guys see these other posts, you know, and you're thinking, oh, they have their life together. You can remember that you're also faking it and you don't have your life together. And man, I don't have my life together. It is so easy for us to forget that we're all faking it. And maybe if we just said, there's no way we can all have it together, right? Like we got to keep reminding ourselves of that. What did you need to do? What made a change for you so that this year you feel so much better other than the amazing Mr. Shanks and being part of all his cool projects? We know that's part of it.
One thing for me is like being myself and not changing for like other people. Cause like what happened last year is like I changed myself, forgetting how like cool that I am, like naturally.
Yes.
Not to flex.
But you are cool, and now you're on social media thinking the cool standard is something that really isn't even you.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to fight that.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Come on up. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like throughout my life, I've been through so much, which also had caused me to like mature at a really young age. And I always felt like I had no one to talk about it. I would always try to hide it, except one person always knew when I was hiding it, which was Mr. Shanks. But I feel like even with friends, I can know them for my whole life and trust them as much as I can. But I feel like I can't ever open up to that because they just wouldn't understand as much as like certain people would. And that's why last year, when we first came to the middle school, I didn't really like talking to the teachers because I just couldn't. I didn't like teachers.
Yeah, it's hard. It's middle school.
But I joined drama club, and that's when I met Mr. Shanks. And then we had him this year for Avid. And I feel like this year I opened up so much, and he knows so much about me that like a lot of my really close friends don't. And it just feels good to like actually know someone won't judge me, and I can like open up and talk about what I went through when I was younger.
Can I ask you something else? When you put things in writing to friends and you text them and stuff too, you guys have this whole fear too, that anything you say and write can be screenshotted, right? And then spread around and used against you. Does that also make you a little afraid to trust in the social media world?
Of course it does.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way I can go, like, I can't be myself when I'm talking to people because I'm scared they're going to, like, screenshot it, and then the next day the whole school's talking about it. And that's, like, the worst part of middle school. Everyone has connections with everyone, especially in our school because it's small. So one, like, slip up, the whole school knows. And that it really affects people. And I really hate how our school does it, but
But you know, in every school, it's the same in every school because we're dealing with, you know, we're dealing with you guys who have to watch everything you write. And that also must be exhausting. How do you guys feel about that? Right? Like everything you're about to say, do you ever notice you start writing something and then you have to backspace and then you have to like how does that affect you?
I mean, it causes us to be a lot more scared. I know you mentioned how we restarted, and the main reason we had to restart is because all of us were scared to talk, knowing what people might think of us.
Mm-hmm.
I still kind of am, but like I really don't care. But it's just hard knowing when people can hear stuff and just our phones can screen record, they can take screenshots. Like it's just hard trying to speak your truth, knowing that at least one person's gonna judge you no matter what you do.
And you have to get to a place where you don't care if they judge you, right? You have to be the best you can be. And then whatever anyone else does can't be your problem. But you bring up a good point. Screen recordings and all of that. And you know, these ladies, as I said earlier in the podcast, these ladies, we ended up redoing it. And you know, they said, you know, I don't know, people that I know are going to hear this. And I said, well, good. Because if any of your friends or anybody in your school or anybody in schools around the world hears this, and if they're honest with themselves, they absolutely feel this. They just may not admit it. So how brave of you to be the one that comes on this program to the 933,000 people that are going to listen to this. No, ladies, it's not anywhere near that. But if I say it, maybe that would come true. That would be fantastic. And they're going to hear what you have to say.
It like makes me really nervous when I'm like typing or texting to someone, or because it's happened to me. I go to CCD, which is like a religious school, every Tuesday. So what happened to me, I was on the phone with one of my friends and I just started to open up because I had really bad family problems, especially with my dad because my parents are divorced. They divorced when I was younger. But it like really hurts because I always look back on photos and videos of when they were together. And it like really hurts me to know that just in an instant it was all gone. So like I started to open up to my friend. And I was telling her everything. And I didn't even notice she took a screenshot of me crying.
No.
And she like released it to the whole class. And it's like a big, big school. It's 8th grade to like kindergarten all in one school. And she just like released it to everybody. And I didn't know yet because I don't have Snapchat. And she put it on her story like, hey, look at this girl. She's crying over nothing. And I was like, but you don't know what it feels like because her parents aren't divorced.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, you don't know what it feels like because I always just look back on those photos because they're hanging up in my room. Everywhere I go, I always see a photo. And like, it really, really hurts to just look at it.
And even if you were crying over getting a bad grade, somebody took your sadness and exposed it.
And it's happened to me multiple times. It's happened to me about like 10 times.
Is this something that...
It's like, it's a different person every time. Because as soon as they do it and I find out, I just like stop being friends with them completely because I've noticed that it's bad for me. And every time they do it, I like get more and more like to myself. And I feel like I have to know someone for like a year or two before I can like really start to open up to them. Because I was really easy to like get into and be friendly to. So that's what happened. And it just like really hurt me. And everybody in class was making fun of me. They knew me as the girl who cried over nothing because she didn't tell them what I was crying over. And then another time I was texting a different person. Same thing. She screenshotted it and put it out to everybody.
If it makes you feel any better, I cry every day. And I'm so sorry. Oh, you know, I think if you're listening right now, I mean, just the struggles that these kids go through, the facts, I am mentally exhausted on social media. I cannot imagine living at a time when you're young and you have to not only watch what you're typing, but now you're screen recorded and things go up and there's videos. And so we deal a lot with all of that so we've talked a little bit about how the physical appearance and your self-esteem. And we all know that a lot of times what people put out there, fake, not true, it's filtered. We all want to show the best, right? It's our Cliff Notes. And we also talked about screenshots and our emotions and all of that. But can we talk a little bit about the fear of missing out? It's a thing. Ladies, when I was young and Jenny didn't invite me to her 5th grade birthday party, I didn't know about it. So everybody went to the birthday party on Friday night. And on Monday, they forgot about the birthday. So nobody was really talking about it. And I just didn't know. Now you guys know in real time. You guys know if you're not invited somewhere. You guys know if you thought somebody's your friend and then you see them with your love interest. How does that feel? Because one of the good things you said about social media is it's immediate. You can connect immediately. You can communicate immediately. But communicating immediately and seeing some of this stuff immediately isn't good.
I feel like I was always missing out when I was younger. I would either just not get invited or stuff. I don't know if everyone did it, but my younger classes, we used to hand out invitations, and I would either just not get one or I couldn't go because all my family's really busy. We didn't grow up bougie like a lot of Spack and Kill kids did. So all my family's
just kids
working.
in general, yeah.
Yeah, we had a bunch, they were just trying to get by, so I could never go. And then as I got older, and this still goes on, I still never can get rides anywhere. But
oh, okay. Her friend behind her goes, "Hey, I'll give you a ride."
A lot of my friends give me rides because I have to ask. But
yes.
Just seeing when I can't go, and then seeing all my friends posting and having fun with everyone, and I'm I couldn't go.
That's
I
tough.
try as hard as I can to go so I don't miss out, and then I can't. And all my friends are posting, having fun, laughing with all their friends, and I'm just sitting at my house, okay, well. You did that, and I was in bed sleeping, so.
Right, because you couldn't get out, which is a good point, too, right? We don't know people's circumstances, and we should maybe think about that, these parties and all these things, and, and are there ways that we can offer to bring people places if that's the reason they can't go? But, what if you were just left out? You were just left out. That's awful. That's hurtful. And it's hard to process that in real time, especially as a middle schooler.
When at least when I get left out, it really hurts. And even it's just having certain stuff, other people have that and you don't. I don't have social media, but I see how it changes people.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand what we're talking about, but other people have it, and I'm missing out. So I don't know what the latest trend is or what everybody else is doing. And, people are posting videos of them doing stuff and I'm missing out. What Sarah said, I'm home. They didn't even bother to ask or anything.
And I know right now it feels for you, right? Frustrating because you aren't on social media. But I can just tell you as a grown adult, it has affected my mental health so much. And I'm stuck on it. Because I have a charity and I need to feed patients. So I'm kind of stuck here. But I can tell you that one day, I really hope you look back and go, it was the best thing my parents could do to protect me. And listen, I know parents, we have a lot of reasons to give our kids the phones and we're doing it and we're all doing the best that we can. But I'll just tell you a quick story because the ladies are being very vulnerable and, there's a lot of joy, sadness going on. When this was all going on with my own children, we were, I was trying to figure it all out and they were in their rooms and I didn't really set parameters at all. I don't know. They were just up there. And my 5th grader at the time, I just kept noticing that she was more and more withdrawn, and she was in her room, and she didn't have social media, but her sisters did. So her sisters would let her on the phone, and they would I think her sisters were, I don't know, they maybe got phones when they were in 6th grade, 7th grade, I can't remember. And so she would see all these, things. And what I didn't realize for her is I wasn't really putting any parental controls on any of it. And she was just taking the phone. She was looking at things and she was doing things. And one of my children ended up with an eating disorder because of it. Because, there were pictures of her out there. There were events that happened to her in school. And there was just a bunch of things. And I'm not going to get into her personal life, but I am here to say that it was just, she felt so negatively about herself that she could never look at herself for how beautiful she was. So sick she got that we almost hospitalized her. She was very, very thin. And, it was a wake-up call to me as a parent. So I want to talk about that, parents, before we wrap it up. What do you want us as parents to know? Like, what do you wish we would have done? What do you wish we would do? What do you need from us so that you can feel safe? Go ahead. Whoever wants to talk first. They all want to say something about us. I'm ready. Bring it on.
I wish they knew or feel how much we're struggling, and to not get mad at us when we're trying to explain how we're feeling and everything, and just take it towards them, actually just
you want us to listen more than react and solve the problem, but you want us to listen to you.
Yeah.
You want us to take time to listen.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. What else?
I feel like kind of what Rihanna said, just being listened to helps a lot. Because I know a lot of kids around our age, try to hide stuff from their parents. I know I do it. We try to hide stuff because we're scared of, getting in trouble. And I just, I want to be listened to and, understood. And one day, when I have my own kids, I want them to be able to come to me and, tell me what's going on. I don't want them to be, hidden away from what I can't see.
So if we were gentler, if we listened with an open heart and didn't make you feel afraid to come to us, that would make things easier. Social media, what do you wish that a parent would do?
I wish that my parents would know how much some subtle words hurt sometimes.
Okay.
And
there's trigger words.
Yeah, and how that when I was younger, my parents are divorced too, and those subtle things that they took me that I seen in my house and stuff, they kind of affect me now, because I know the things that will happen when I get older, and I feel sometimes it's just too much, and parents need to listen to us more and get us help and stuff, but instead they just kind of get mad sometimes, and I wish they more listen.
And I think as parents too, and this is not to excuse us, right? But we're overwhelmed in trying to figure out the best ways to help you. And, situations are different, and there's broken homes, and there's so many things to navigate as single parents and as parents of multiple children and working parents, right? I think too, it would be great for us to put our own phones down. I'm going to say that as somebody that needs to do that, because yes, I do play Candy Crush every once in a while, ladies. I do. And I am on social media, not only for my business, but then I do get in the rabbit hole. So I think as parents too, right? We can't just tell you can't be on social media. You need to get outside. You need to, if we're always on social media, what else can we do as parents? What do you wish that we would do?
I wish parents knew how different it was compared to now than back then when parents were in high school and middle school, because they didn't really have cell phones.
Yeah. But that's why you're doing this, right? Because I can't imagine it. You're all saying it and I'm watching it unfold, and I am telling you that young Krista Jones would not have survived.
Very different. They use phones to come back at people or go towards people.
Yeah.
Instead of like verbally.
Yeah. I was this adorable little chunky monkey child. I was so cute. I was. And, I was bullied in ways that they did back then. But oh my goodness, I could not handle another layer of that. I cannot imagine the layer that children have to face. So I think we try to understand it. It's just so tough to understand it. But really, that's why you guys are here today. And this is the service that you're doing just for all of us. You're reiterating what we kind of know, but as uncomfortable it is for us as adults to hear, we have to hear.
So I wish my parents, because my dad, he doesn't know what it's like to be like this in middle school.
He was in middle school once, though.
He was.
I know it seems hard to believe.
He right now, my parents, they don't understand what it's like. My mom kind of does, and she does everything in her power to help me. But I wish she would just understand more.
Yeah.
Because even now, if I didn't tell her that this kid was making fun of me, because they would call me all sorts of names because of where I'm from. They called me such rude names and everything like that. But my mom, she understands, but my dad, not really. And my mom does everything she can. She takes me out to places I want to go to. But I just wish that we did it more often, because she just, at some point she understands, but at some point she just doesn't, and she just starts screaming and yelling.
Well, here's what I think, ladies, too. I think that you guys have to tell us, you have to look us in the face. And you have to say, I need 10 minutes. I need you, Mom, for 10 minutes to listen to me. Right? If you look at us with this look and you say, stop, I just need you to stop and I need you to listen. I am sad. I am struggling. I am seeing things on social media. I am whatever it is. I think sometimes you need to say it because sometimes we need to hear it. I'm not making an excuse for all of our busy lives, but sometimes it's what we need to do. So ladies, I want to say thank you guys for coming here today. It was amazing. But before we go, I do want to talk about a few things. Mr. Shanks, I just want to say you just have some great, oh my gosh, some great
talk without
students
crying in front of you?
Yeah, wow. I want us to talk about how we can now move forward, because you have these conversations and I don't want to leave without us having these great tools that we can use. And I think what we heard from these girls is they need boundaries. We as parents have to set boundaries for them.
100%.
We do. Whatever that looks like in your house, and you may be a jerk for doing it, but you have to set boundaries. And sometimes that means, you heard them. They're on their phone at 2 a.m. If you leave it in their room, maybe you don't leave it in their room.
I can't speak to that as a teacher. I have a 4-year-old and a 3-year-old, but I can talk to this as a middle school teacher. What I know helps kids, and that is we cannot change social media. So that's 100%.
100%.
And too often we are telling the kids, yeah, social media is bad. Well, we know that. But we can help them.
Sure.
You can give them self-love. You can give them the understanding that difficulty is on its way. It's headed in our direction. We don't know when, we don't know how, we don't know where. But to be tougher than the moment that's headed for you is, I don't know, something that, and I'm not perfect at it, and if there's an ex-middle schooler I've taught and I tried my best, I apologize if it was maybe the one that didn't work. But trying to empower them to navigate a world that is difficult, knowing that difficult world is going to judge them, knowing that difficult world is going to do negativity, and having the opportunity to say, I love me. And I love how smart I am. I love how strong I am. And the girls today also showed, and I wish this podcast was a film, the love that they were showing each other after coming up.
Yeah, they were hugging each other. There was some tears.
Yeah.
There was, and I think too, helping them to, follow influencers and helping them, so that their algorithms change, right? Helping them to have more of a positive news feed, in their Instagrams and TikToks and all of this. Because you're right, social media is out there and we are not getting rid of it. And we certainly, even though we can limit it, it would be great if, we can help them fill it with some more positive things.
Well, and even if our goal after our mess up of the first part of this,
it was not a mess up. It was a learning
well,
curve.
I'm not saying the girls, I'm saying myself, because then I ended up going to that 1920s voice I used. Huh, girls?
That was good. That was good.
Okay. Is if we were able to get one person to listen to this, maybe that one person ends up making the impact that we were looking for. And my daughter is about to be 5. So the girls, I told them just to talk to her, and they love her, which my wife and I appreciate. But it always starts with one. I mean, and I guarantee you it's one of these 7 girls that are behind me right now. If you heard their stories, I mean, how many times I've cried in this room right now looking at them and telling them how proud I am. Getting them to navigate this world as smart, strong, tough, empathetic people, that's, I think, in my opinion, where it comes from. And I've always been a big advocate for 7th graders. 7th grade girls, too. There's something about them, and I don't think the world appreciates them enough. I think that everybody's middle school experience was so difficult that they don't want to come back to it.
Yeah.
But they need you, and you need them. I think I learned that today, what I've just confirmed in my career, and I'm sure you felt the same.
Absolutely. And I think, too, that, if you're listening, this is not just the rare opinion of 7 girls. This is the opinion of every middle school girl, whether she is telling you that or she is not telling you that. There are struggles, and social media can be a positive place if we help them as adults navigate that, or it can be a negative place if we as parents and just adults in their lives are not on top of it and, guiding them the best way that we can to make the best decisions.
I agree.
Oh, it's been a good day. Thank you for joining us on Exhausted Sparrows Unite. We heard from some incredible young voices today, and I hope that their stories remind you of the immense power and responsibility that we have to help the next generation in a world where social media shapes so much of our kids' lives. It's really easy to forget that beneath the likes and the shares, we have their self-worth that we really need to be thinking about. So as parents and educators and role models, the messages we send need to really be about kindness and authenticity. The challenge is not just limiting screen time, it's about listening to their voices, understanding their struggles, and supporting them in a way that fosters both connection and confidence. So let's make this promise to our kids. We're going to listen, we're going to guide, we're going to help them grow into the authentic people they're meant to be. Let's keep the dialogue going for the future. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.